another Generation 2 Plasticon review! Woo! Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover some more Generation 2. When I'm talking Generation 2, I'm talking Generation 2 Fortress X. This is Fortress X in his Diaclone colors, and this thing looks absolutely amazing. It's got all this black, which kind of just disappears as all the red and the silver just kind of pops with like these tiny pieces of just yellow here and there. It's got many places that you can put Diaclone figures along with any type of power suit stuff you have. Not to mention, it's got little tanks, which are really cool. The spread for this thing is actually pretty cool, and I do like the fact that it actually kind of has like a launching pad that's located where the garage is. Taking a closer look at Fortress X himself, this thing is absolutely amazing. I love the colors on this thing. This thing is phenomenal. And like I said, it scales very well with your little Power of the Primes guys, which I think these guys work very well for little power suits, considering I wish I had some power suits, but these guys work very well. I like the fact that it scales very good with your G2 spy changers, such as Optimus Prime here. He looks pretty good with it. And also has the little Diaclone vehicles themselves. These little guys, which are bits and pieces of Guts Blocker. Fits very well. It's got lots of places for like repairing your powered suits. It's got places here for like a launch bay. It's also even got a complete launch bay area here, so that way you can have like a smaller vehicles like this that actually has folding wings. Can just kind of stow itself inside the launch pad itself. And you can close this up if you want to. And it's a ramp. It can be set up kind of any direction you want to. That's the great thing about this toy. This toy's actually got a lot of playability, and something that I really do enjoy about this thing is the fact that I've got so many options. It's so amazing. I love the colors. It's got these nice little silver stacks kind of sticking up here. And the thing is, you can actually take these little tank drones. It comes with two of these. It's got little tank drones. You can put your little Diaclone guy in the back and drive them around all over the place. One is red and one is black, which very cool. I do like these a lot. Really adds to the design of this toy. Not to mention, if you really don't want to use those as tanks currently, you can pull your drivers out. Go in here, flip out this piece, and then you can successfully plug these in onto the top here if you want to make taller towers. And it's kind of neat. I don't mind this. This is actually kind of a cool little gimmick. Or if you want to, you can put a tower up front here. If that's what you want to do. It's just kind of your choice. And the cool thing is you can just do anything really you want to do here with this stuff. It's just so many choices, and that is what is amazing about this kind of a toy, is just having all the playability. But anyway, let's check out a little bit more of the detail before we go into its next mode. And like I was saying, you got a lot of different kind of playability options with this thing, so you can just take any of your little tanks and plug them in here and here, or even on these two little pillars here that actually have 5mm ports. You can put them on either one of those. He's also got a kind of a landing ramp here, which is for a lot of your other vehicles to be able to just come flying in and land. And not to mention, if you want to, you can always reposition this tower here as an antenna if you want. So that way it's got a little bit more height to it if that's what you're wanting. And these little guns here actually can just lean forward if you want, or you can just take them off completely and then you can position them elsewhere. You can like plug them here on the top if you want. So that way you got a bit of a battle station kind of thing with them sticking up there. Or if you want to, you can take them off and put them here in the front portion where the tank was once plugged in. Or you can plug it in like this. You have either option, which is kind of cool, because you know, options are nice. Everybody loves those. And like I said, he's got a lot of detail here for like these little Diaclone vehicles here to kind of roll up on. They can roll in here and, you know, get repaired wherever you need them to get repaired at, or, you know, say they're getting ready to launch out for a mission because they're, you know, attacking the Decepticons, you know. That's just what this is. And this is an Autobot base. And it's very cool. I do love this thing. But let's take everything off here and get this thing transformed, shall we? Now here's Fortress X in his Fortress mode. This is the mode that's actually really cool, and I like the fact that it's almost looks like a bipedal robot, but not really. It's more of a like a fortress that's raised, so that way then when the enemy comes in, they can't just swarm it from all sides. They'd have to actually come in for aerial attacks, which is kind of cool. I like the fact that it's got these two gigantic cannons here that stick out, which is obviously the tanks, with the little drivers sitting inside of them. Works very well. It's got this nice little flip-out gun here on its shoulder, which is picked out nicely in some red. And it's just a really neat setup. I like the fact it's got the Macross missile spam going on. and just lots of places to be able to put figures and such. Even has the shoulder cannons going on, which are kind of cool because you can just angle those kind of any direction you want. And this is where, you know, to me, Fortress X starts to shine, is the fact that, you know, he's got a bit of, you know, a different kind of mode. And he does scale very well with all this stuff. I think he does look very good with them. Not to mention, he does kind of have a thing that I like to try to do with him as well when he's in this mode. Is you can come back here in the back and just pop these panels here open. And that isn't going to get rid of any of the stability, but when you do this, this gives you a bit of a kind of a docking repair bay here in the back for a lot of your characters to be able to just kind of stand there and either get fixed or repaired or just, you know, anything like that. And the cool thing is you can take your little Diaclone figures and put them here on the little repair stations, and they work pretty well. I do like this a lot. This is a nice little option, and options to me, like I said, are really, really amazing, especially when it comes to play sets. I love seeing little things like this in play sets. Kind of helps pull things together. It gives you more to do with it other than it just being a stagnant toy that you can't really do much with. This toy is absolutely phenomenal. And what is cool is the little bitty power guys here actually will actually fit inside here, so you can lock them away inside the legs as well. So if you want to use that for storage, you can. And that's one thing I think is really neat. But I'm going to keep these guys out because they do something else. So let's get this guy into his rolling Fortress mode. And here's Fortress X in his rolling fortress mode. It's kind of cool. I love the fact that all this red just pops once you open up the legs, and it's just there. It's just like bam in your face. And all this red is really, really neat to see on this toy. I do like to see that. And the fact is you can actually deploy all your mechs directly out of the repair bay, which is kind of cool. I'll put Optimus here so that way you guys can get a bit of a sense of scale, and it's very neat. It's all, like I said, it's got all the things. You can still move your cannons up and down. It does all the same thing that it does in actual Fortress mode, except for this is the rolling stage, and I do like this a lot. And it's not really that bad of a toy. I love this thing. This thing is absolutely amazing. It's an easy thing to play with, and let's move on, because you know what? There is yet one more mode this guy does, so let's get into that one. And here's Fortress X in his robot mode, and this is where this toy really looks striking. I love the fact of how much silver just explodes when you actually put this thing into this mode. All this entire like silver torso and everything is just like bam, it's there. Not to mention the small little tiny yellow highlights dealing with the head sculpt. Just tiny little bitty yellow bits picked out here and there, which are really cool. It's actually got some really neat options in order to put your guns and such on, which is obviously always an option. Just love the idea that you can just take these guns and kind of put them anywhere. And he does happen to not actually have actual fists, because Robot X doesn't, or Fortress X does not have fists. He's always had laser cannon arms. Now, one thing you can do with this guy, and it's something I've kind of toyed with a few times myself, is I've actually took the cannon arm off and put this into cannon mode, just like so. That's when we'll power the prime guys, and it plugs in just like that. And honestly, if you want to, you can almost kind of give them almost an elbow bend at this point, which is really neat. I do like this. This is like a cool little option that I have. It's just amazing. This toy is just so cool. It's quite frankly one of the coolest things I think I have ever created, and I just love this guy. And Fortress X is amazing. He looks so amazing next to Great Robot Base. He looks amazing next to Metroplex. He even looks great next to Fortress Maximus, which you guys will end up seeing here in the future. Anyhow, this has been Plasticon. This has been yet another Transformers Generation 2 review. And I'll catch you guys around, because I have plenty more coming your way. And that's it for now. Bye.